Hey, welcome back. Thanks for watching. I want to talk today about meeting with an advisor. So, when you meet with an advisor, typically, from my experience, you're not going to be charged for an initial meeting or two, perhaps a couple. Basically, because they're trying to gain your trust and earn your business. So I think you can set up an appointment with an advisor and not have to worry about having to pay. Not that their time isn't worth anything, but I think their initial consultations, are basically to build your trust and that kind of stuff. So essentially, when we originally met to try to lay out a plan, they ran me through a risk scenario or a risk analysis, and so there were several questions that were asked during this analysis, and I don't know how long it took, 5 minutes maybe. And at the end of that gave them the software that they use, that gave them a risk tolerance measurement that was comfortable for my wife and I. And then based on that risk assessment, then their software will calculate the different types of investments that would match my risk tolerance. And so essentially, when I did retire and when I did finally turn over a portion of my money to him, then that money was allocated based on the software projections that was determined by my risk analysis. Now I can go back and we can redo the risk analysis if based on what I've learned since studying this. I began studying this retirement stuff in depth back in March, and so based on what I've learned, maybe perhaps I'm more risk tolerant and I'm able to take on more risk. So I can always go back and do that risk assessment. But we're sticking with the plan that we originally talked about. But that being said, that's an initial meeting that you will have. You'll lay out your perhaps what you think you're going to have at retirement as far as your nest egg goes. You're going to lay out perhaps some type of a monetary need per month. Nothing based, on a solid facts that this is exactly how it's going to be, but just kind of generalizing and kind of looking forward as to what your portfolio will be. And so then they can give advice based off of that. But you'll have that risk tolerance meeting, and you'll talk about your goals. You'll talk about what you currently have and how you're currently saving, and that type of thing. So meeting with an advisor should not be intimidating. It should not be scary. It should not give you any kind of concern, especially if you're thinking about retirement in the near future. It should give you the confidence that, hey, I'm going to go talk to an expert. I'm going to go get some information and then build on that. And my channel, for the most part, has been talking about building on the knowledge that you gain throughout your retirement planning. And so, but just meeting with him, that'll give him things that puts things on your radar to be thinking about and to be studying. I think I have met with my advisor at least once a month, every month since March of this year. There's always been something more I've learned based off the last meeting. Now, I will say, I will think in December here I won't meet with him, but I think I'll probably meet with him again in January. But he always has time for me. And obviously now, he is making money from me and for me. But so I'm paying him a fee to manage my accounts and stuff. But he is available to me at a moment's notice. Essentially, I mean, obviously, you can't just drop everything. But I'm just saying that if I call for a meeting, then generally within just a few days, I can go meet with him, and obviously I can call and he'll return my call. But I've learned so much since March, and a lot of what I've learned is based off of the meetings that I have had with him in the past few months. And so I'm here to say, don't be afraid to hire a planner or an advisor, or don't be afraid at least to go and meet with them to kind of get a lot of your questions that you may have now answered. And from that meeting, I think it may generate more questions for you to have to meet again later. But find someone you can trust. Find someone that other people that use. Again, I use someone local, and I don't know that I would ever not have someone local, someone that I can just go and see, in the next day or so. I just, the thought of me having to drive an hour or so to meet with some expert, to me, when I have somebody here in town, is just, it doesn't make sense to me. But that's just me. I have a lot of friends who use advisors from out of town, and nothing against them, but that's just not for me. and my wife and I are very comfortable with one we have here in town. So that being said, I just want you to, make a call and make an appointment and at least go talk to them. It's not going to cost you anything. And if it does cost you $100, well, okay, that's that. At least you've laid a seed to gain knowledge and to know what you need to work on and what you need to plan for. So that's it. Meeting with an advisor. It shouldn't be intimidating. And if you are intimidated when you go in and you don't look forward to talking to your advisor, then perhaps you need to get a new one. So with that, I'll close. I appreciate you watching and liking and subscribing. And with that, I'll check you in the next one. Thanks. God bless.